Inflation may be the midterm election's number one issue, but interestingly, it did not dominate debates in New York and Pennsylvania. Instead, the focus was on crime and, believe it or not, fracking.
Fracking. Yeah, fracking. No, I don't support fracking at all, and I never have.
Fracking for natural gas, considered by progressives an act of pure environmental evil, may be an election sleeper issue. When moderators referenced that previous clip, the progressive Mr. Fetterman demonstrated how far right he has moved.
I've always supported fracking, and I always believe that independence with our energy is critical, and we can't be held, ransom to somebody like Russia.
Moderators also tried to call out Mehmet, referencing a column he wrote in 2014 in which he called for no fracking until the results of health studies were known. They then noted this clip.
Natural gas guarantees high-paying skilled jobs right here in Pennsylvania. So back off, Biden. Give us freedom to frack.
Dr. Oz's pro-fracking stance is hard to miss now, and he returned to the issue repeatedly throughout the debate.
I strongly support fracking, drilling, the piping of that natural gas. In fact, I'd build a facility even in Philadelphia so we can export it.
Sitting through the two 60-minute debates, I think any viewer would have seen there are substantive policy distinctions between the two parties. For the past 2 years, Democrats and pundits have tried to tee up the Republicans as the party of Trump, with President Biden using nearly every speech to ridicule his predecessor.
MAGA Republicans talk about how they are concerned about security, but yet you saw what happened on January 6th. The whole world saw it.
The debates are showing just how much Democrats have loaded up on the Trump factor.
Is Donald Trump a great president?
Mr. Zeldin's answer, too long to play here, was that he had worked actively with Mr. Trump to fight the MS-13 Salvadoran gang on Long Island, move Israel's capital to Jerusalem, push the Mideast Abraham Accords, thwart the Iran nuclear deal, and fight the COVID pandemic. Governor Hochul's lame response?
That is a resounding yes, and the voters of New York do not agree with you.
But then, this is a governor who's only recently admitted the seriousness of New York City's crime problem.
A safe walk home at night, a subway ride free of fear, a safer New York for every child. That's what Kathy Hochul is working for as governor.
This governor, who still, to this moment, we're halfway through the debate, she still hasn't talked about locking up anyone committing any crimes.
Okay.
Anyone who commits a crime under our laws, especially with the change they made to bail, has consequences. I don't know why that's so important to you.
I don't know why that's so important to you. It was not her best moment.
Kathy Hochul believes that the only crimes that are being committed are these crimes with guns. And you got people who are afraid of being pushed in front of oncoming subway cars. They're being stabbed, beaten to death on the street with hammers. Go talk to the Asian American community and how it's impacted them with the loss of lives. Jewish people targeted with raw, violent anti-Semitism on our streets. It just happened yet again.
Crime is what gives Mr. Zeldin a shot at winning in such a heavily Democratic state. But he needs a strong majority of independents who outnumber Republicans and support from moderate to conservative Democrats.
A question gets posed about a Manhattan DA who refuses to enforce the law, and all that my opponent can come up with is talking about the last election. Think about that.
The Democrats' decision to load up so heavily on the Trump factor has been a mistake. Voters are looking forward. What we saw in the Pennsylvania and New York debates were GOP candidates running on the merits of their policies, not Mr. Trump's personality.